नमस्कार दोस्तों, सदर्न एशियन न्यूज़ में आपका स्वागत है। आज हम बात करने वाले हैं भारत और पाकिस्तान के बारे में। जी हाँ, भारत और पाकिस्तान के बहुत सारे युद्ध हो चुके हैं। भारत और पाकिस्तान के बीच में बहुत सारी लड़ाइयाँ हो चुकी हैं। इन लड़ाइयों को लेकर बहुत सारी कहानियाँ प्रचलित हैं, बहुत सारे नाटक हो चुके हैं, बहुत सारी स्टोरीज बन चुकी हैं, फिल्में बन चुकी हैं, नाटक भी किए जा चुके हैं थिएटर्स पे भी, और कुछ OTT प्लेटफॉर्म्स पे इसकी कुछ आप लोग वेब सीरीज़ भी देख चुके हैं। लेकिन ये सब फिक्शन भी होती है और कुछ सच्चाई होती है। लेकिन अगर आपको टोटल सच्चाई देखनी हो तो हमें उस फौजी से बात करनी पड़ेगी जिस फौजी ने इस लड़ाई को लड़ा हो। जी हाँ, आज एक ऐसी किताब का विमोचन किया गया, यानी कि लॉन्च की गई, जिसको लिखा है कर्नल रणबीर सिंह जी ने, जो कि रिटायर्ड हैं और एक्स आर्मी मैन हैं, वेटरन हैं हमारे। और उन्होंने इस कहानी को लिखा है जब ये लड़ाई उन्होंने खुद लड़ी है, इसको एक्सपीरियंस किया है। उन्होंने ये बताया इस बुक में कि उस टाइम पे कैसे कैसे कौन कौन सी घटनाएं हुई, कौन कौन से हमारे जवान वीरगति को प्राप्त हुए, कब कब कौन कौन सी घटना हुई, उसके टाइम के साथ कौन कौन सी जवानों की टुकड़ियां कब हिस्सा ले रही थी, सब कुछ बताया है। लेकिन फैक्ट्स और फिगर्स के साथ, और सब कुछ सच है। ये उन्होंने आज हमें इस प्रेस मीट में बताया। इसमें उन्होंने बताया कि ये जो बुक है, वॉर इन द ईस्ट, लिबरेशन ऑफ बांग्लादेश 1971, इसमें सब कुछ उन्होंने बिल्कुल पॉइंट टू पॉइंट सच लिखा है। इसमें कुछ भी फिक्शन नहीं है, फिक्शनल नहीं है, कुछ भी झूठ नहीं है। तो अगर आपने ये बुक नहीं पढ़ी है तो अभी मंगवा के पढ़ लीजिए। और अगर आपको थोड़ा सा भी इंटरेस्ट है इस तरह की ट्रू वॉर स्टोरीज को पढ़ने का, तो इस बुक को ज़रूर मंगवाइएगा और हमारे इस वीडियो को अंत तक देखिएगा। अगर आप जानना चाहते हैं कि उन्होंने इस बुक में क्या क्या लिखा है तो देखें इस वीडियो को, और हमारे साथ एंड तक बने रहिएगा। और इस वीडियो को ज़रूर शेयर भी कीजिएगा, लाइक भी कीजिएगा।
Declared, though it was on for quite some time, of 13 days to create Bangladesh. It's ironical that despite the fact that we are celebrating the 50th anniversary, there is no official history of the war yet written by the Ministry of Defense. There was a history attempted when Mr. Vora was the Defense Secretary, sometime in the mid-90s, and the history division of the Ministry of Defense, which was quite well organized with Dr. Prasad and one Mr. Thaplyal, they wrote a book of 71 war. But somehow, once they were taking clearance from everybody else, the book never saw the light of day. Much later, about 10 years later, Dr. Prasad and Mr. Thaplyal, they had retired, and they have published that book with a disclaimer that this is losing the point that was made by General Sehota, that we don't even have an official history, and we have various versions of history which are there. There are personal accounts who have derided others, who seniors even who were participants. And General Sehota clarified that everybody gives his own version, but nothing succeeds like success. So, like we have had General Jacob. There's no doubt about it that General Jacob was the principal staff officer of Eastern Command, directly in touch with the DMO in Delhi, and probably he did the detailed planning. But then the question that goes begging is, what are brilliant staff officers supposed to do? Brilliant staff officers are supposed to translate their commander's general directions into a workable plan that should also take care of his impetuosity and of the commander, his cautiousness. So they should take care of everything. So even if there was a cautious plan, it is indeed the responsibility of General Jacob to make sure that that window of Dhaka was open, which he did. Then similarly, there have been accounts written by Raghavan, and the recent one by Das Gupta, who has written, and he's also passed some scathing comments about everybody else. And in fact, he sort of seems to have blown the myth that Sam actually was the only one responsible for the delay of the campaign from May, June to December. I wrote about it, and I said that to any student of arms, or any one of us, if you see that we were talking in the month of March, 26th of March, we have 2 months before monsoons. Now to launch a major campaign in 2 months is next to impossible. International opinion, the conditions had not been created, formations had to be moved from this side to that side, and the logistic infrastructure had to be created. There was no way it could be done. So even the politicians knew about it, and all this talk of going early was nothing but bravado. Like BSF saying and somebody else saying, it was all bravado. So the decision, it was the politicians also knew it, but she asked the opinion of the military commander, and the commander gave it. Whereas Das Gupta insinuates that Mrs. Gandhi used General Manekshaw. I mean, no Prime Minister would like to use his chief, and no chief would really be the only one who took a decision as far as the timing of the war is concerned. Now, war, of course, as you all are aware, you all have been participants, was a great success. And coming back to the point that since we don't have an official history, our war diaries, our official accounts, which are available informations, are all colored, and many lies are told because we ourselves have been party to it. I wrote the 4/6 detailed account of what they did in the 71 war, even the entire account of the 9 divisions and others. So to that end, when a soldier writes a book, and a decorated soldier at that, who, I still remember I was in NDA when I read that 13620 has been captured in August 1965, and one Captain Ranveer Singh has been decorated with Veer Chakra. I knew it, that it is only one Captain Ranveer Singh, and he is the son of Brigadier Sukhdev Singh, Military Cross and Veer Chakra of 1947-48. And of course, later he was my instructor. So when he requested me, he says, "Can you find time?" I said, "Sir, have a heart. What time? You were my instructor, and then you are part of the family." My father was a company commander under Brigadier Sukhdev in 47-48, and also as a 2IC commanded 2 companies. He was the garrison commander at Zozilla right from June 1948 till finally, of course, they had to pull back because of the pressure of the Gilgit Scouts. So I know the family for long. So him writing a personal account would be a welcome addition, and a truthful account at that. So my compliments to you, sir, and I'm sure the book will be very well received by the public at large. And I, on my part, since I remain very active on social media, we will give it wide publicity on the social media also. And I'm sure that the general public will be enlightened. Congratulations once again, sir.
Thank you. So much has been said about the book, War in the East, Liberation of Bangladesh, 1971. In fact, what I wanted to say, most of it has been said by my seniors. It took me 2 years to write. It's a long time. Few months are good enough for any account. What I wanted was to write a book highlighting the qualities of a soldier, his bravery, his die-hard spirit, his discipline and ability to carry out orders. My stress has been on junior leadership. All my actions are at battalion level. Another reason why it took me a long time is I have included 38 maps and sketches in the book. Mere narrative will not suffice. When you see the maps and the sketches, reading and comprehension becomes easy. Another thing is, who will not like, who has fought a war, that his name doesn't feature. Every map and sketch, I have mentioned the name of the unit, the date, and the place where the action was fought. I thought it will be a good tribute and a salute to those who fought and those who sacrificed their lives. This is what distinguishes my book from the others. War in any form is deadly, dangerous, and a diabolic undertaking. It consumes lives, destroys property, it sets back the economy of nations by many decades. It is a luxury best avoided. Having said that, there is always a background. What was the background that this war took place? Right after partition in 47, Pakistan started resorting to shenanigans, devious designs. They sent in there Pashtun tribals, militia, and the regular army to capture Kashmir, the majority Muslim state. As we all know, Indian army threw them out, defeated them totally. They were totally humiliated. They are sulking and never was able to forget the defeat even till date. There is always a trigger point. Why should hostility take place? Why should war take place? It all started when the East Army of Pakistan systematically harassing, subjugating, treating them as third-rate citizens, the Bengalis. The climax was when, in March, Pakistan ordered Operation Searchlight. It was aimed at mass killing of Bengalis, general genocide. It created fear psychosis, and the helpless refugees trickled into Indian territory. It was very difficult, impossible for the Indian government to shelter and provide food for such large numbers in lakhs. Another point was, despite the fact Sheikh Mujibur Rahman won the elections in 1970, they were not allowed to form government. The rebellion started, agitation started, with the result, Mukti Bahini force became a force which was irritant as far as the East Army was concerned. Thereafter, we all know India is never first to declare war. They thought through their actions they will provoke Pakistan into declaring war themselves. That is why Indian Army started training Mukti Bahinis, the revolutionary force, from September onwards. They carried out raids and ambushes on soft targets, thereby becoming irritants for Pakistan East Army. Later on, by mid-October, Indian Army started giving them launching pads from the border outposts and limited RT support. By 15th November, Indian Army started resorting to cross-border actions. The first action I must mention took place in my brigade, 9 Mountain Brigade, capture of Bungamari on 15th of November. I will not go into the details of actions which took place prior to Pakistan's declaring war on 3rd December 1971.